To maximize learning gains, targeted practice by students must be coupled with targeted feedback, usually by the instructor. There are two basic categories of feedback: summative and formative. Summative feedback is made at the very end and provides final judgment and evaluation of proficiency. A grade given on an assignment or for a whole course is summative feedback. Formative feedback is the kind of feedback that targets a specific aspect of students' performance goals. It is made while students are still learning, and it is made to help students improve. For example, comments on a sample test problem or in the draft of an essay are formative feedback. Research shows that formative feedback is more effective for student learning than summative feedback, especially when it comprises two elements: when it informs students how far they are from their target goal, and when it offers information how to get closer to that goal. Summative feedback provides a general sense of the first element, how far a student is from the goal, but no indications how to improve. Two challenges arise when providing feedback: how much feedback to provide and when to provide it. With too little feedback, students find it difficult to improve. On the other hand, too much feedback can be overwhelming because it makes it difficult for students to gain a clear picture of the priorities: what is more important and what is less important, what they need to work on first and what can wait until later. According to Ambrose and her colleagues, the full benefits of feedback can only be realized when students have the capacity to incorporate that feedback into further practice. The most common challenge with the timing of feedback is when to give feedback, but also how often. Typically, early feedback is better than later, so students can make adjustments before any mistakes become ingrained. And typically, more frequent feedback is better than less frequent for the same reason. But in some cases, the instructor may deliberately delay feedback in order to give students time to figure out the problem on their own. Having time to think can give students the opportunity to recognize and repair their own mistakes. Even though providing feedback can take a considerable amount of instructors' time, research shows that even minimal amount of feedback makes it possible for students to improve their work. To summarize, according to Ambrose and her colleagues, feedback that is productive for student learning is prioritized. It focuses on the key knowledge and skills you want students to learn. It is timed. It is provided at a time and frequency when students are most likely to use it. And it is forward-looking. It is linked to additional practice opportunities. Given this research on devising practice and providing feedback for students, what can we as instructors do to help our students improve through practice? First, we can be explicit about the targets of learning and the criteria for achieving those targets by creating a rubric. For students, a single opportunity to practice an assignment is often insufficient to develop a necessary set of skills, so we should create multiple opportunities for practice. To maximize the effects of these shorter assignments, instructors need to adjust them so they target an appropriate level of challenge. Finally, it is helpful for students to have examples of what target performance might look like. This includes both positive and negative examples. Positive examples include a model design, an effective paper, or a robust solution to a problem. They show students what high-level performance looks like for their stated goals. Negative examples can help students by identifying common misconceptions and misinterpretations. They show why certain steps do not meet expectations. With both positive and negative examples, it is helpful to reference the rubric so that students can monitor and improve their performance. And what can we as instructors do to provide students with feedback that will maximize their learning? First, we can prioritize our feedback by focusing only on the information that is most useful to students at a given point in time. In our feedback, we should balance strengths and weaknesses. One way to provide written feedback is a three-step process. First, provide positive comments, what students are doing particularly well. Second, provide constructive comments, what students can do to improve. And third, let students know where or how far they can reach if they follow your suggestions. This way of providing feedback combines helpful information with motivation. Finally, it is helpful to give plenty of feedback to all of the students. This is often a challenge for instructors given time constraints. One way to achieve this is to provide multiple opportunities to give feedback, but to keep feedback short. Another approach is to comment on a handful of anonymized student samples. By identifying strengths and weaknesses of only a few students, you provide information that is helpful to all of your students. How has the principle of combining practice and feedback helped you understand your students and their learning? We asked this question of a group of educators. In their responses, you'll hear references to some of the strategies we just mentioned, and you'll hear other strategies as well.